Why I had to leave my hometown, honey. Why I had to leave and I ain't never been back since. Like, I have to leave here. Like, I have to go because I don't want to be like these people, and these people have never left. Oh, you're a weirdo. You're pregnant. But for me, in my city where I grew up, where I call home, it was not going to be possible. This is no shade to my city, none of that. Never going to get on here and bash my city, because if it wasn't for my city, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Work, 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 work. You see me have you work, 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 work. You see me do me da 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 da.
Okay, what's up, y'all? It's Shira from the Werkin Code, and today we are gonna have a little girl chat about why I had to leave my hometown, honey. Why I had to leave and I ain't never been back since. No, I'm just playing. But if you want to hear why I had to leave my hometown and why I might be going back, I don't know. Give me a like, share, comment, like this video, thumbs up, turn on the post notification, and yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, so first of all, I am from Clearwater, Florida. Yes, I live in Atlanta, but I am from Clearwater, Wick City, Florida. 727 Pinellas County. Don't play with me. That's where I'm from. Always gonna be a Florida girl, period, point blank. And where I'm from is a small town. It's not really big. It's a part of a larger metro area, the Tampa Bay area. If you don't know where that's at on the map, it's the little hook on the left side of Florida that hang out. That's where I'm from. So that's Pinellas County. That's my whole entire county. But within Pinellas County, I am specifically from Clearwater, Florida. Now, let me tell y'all about Clearwater so that I can tell y'all about why I had to leave Clearwater. Now, this is no shade to my city, none of that. Never gonna get on here and bash my city, because if it wasn't for my city, I wouldn't be the person I am today. My city is where I was born and raised, and I am the person who I am today because of my city. The things I've learned, not learned, experienced, and not experienced are all because of in part because of where I've come from. So my family, this only 2 generations have been in Clearwater. Well, now like my cousins of my generation, we the second generation, my cousins got kids. But only one of my cousins who was born there, 3 of my cousins who was born there got kids there. So it's 3 generations there or whatever. But my grandma family is from Argonda, Florida, which is up near Gainesville, Ocala, and my granddaddy family, we don't know where they from, because according to my grandma, my granddad never talked about his family, which I don't understand how they was married for like 60 years, but she claimed he never talked about his family, but whatever. I don't know where they from, but I know my granddaddy mama was Cherokee, Seminole, my bad, she was Seminole Indian. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of her one day. But anyway, I don't know where my granddaddy people from. But anyway, they somehow ended up in Clearwater, Florida, and then my grandma, my granddaddy had all these kids, and that's how I got here. 8 kids. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. I'm from Clearwater, Florida, so I have a very, I would say dynamic perspective of my city, but overall, I would say it's more so positive than not. Now, it's a couple reasons why I had to leave, or I felt I had to leave. I wasn't forced out, but I just felt compelled to leave. Like, I felt like to live the life that I wanted to live and do the things that I wanted to do and achieve the things I wanted to achieve. I do not, still to this day, I do not feel it would have been possible in my city. Is it possible? Can it be possible one day for somebody else? Yes. But for me, in my city where I grew up, where I call home, it was not going to be possible. It wasn't going to be possible. It's just no way that I would be the person I am today if I would have stayed in my city. Like, it just wasn't going to work for me. I'm going to just give y'all a little statistics about Clearwater. So, Clearwater is, like I said, a part of Pinellas County. So it has about 115,000 residents in the city of Clearwater. The average age is 45 years old. The average person is 45 years old. The poverty rate is 15.4%. The average household income is $48,000. That's household income. That's not per individual. That's per household, which most households have 2 adults per household, not including children income. The average property value is $206,000. These statistics could be a little off, okay? And the largest ethnic group there is white people. They make up 67% of the population. Hispanic is 13%. Black and African Americans are 10%. Asian and non-Hispanic 2.5%, and everybody else 2.3%. There's no colleges and universities, but they do have Ultimate Medical Academy, which is like a place where people go for like medical stuff, CNA, med tech, patient care technicians. I'm not sure what else they offer, but I know it's like medical stuff that's not necessarily, you know, like doctors and things like that. But I think you could be like a couple kinds of nurses, like LPN and things like that there as well. I'm not sure the highest level they go to. And Sun State Academy, which is a beauty school, cosmetology, barbering, nails, skincare, but it's not closed. It's not really that diverse, like I said. But yeah, and 92.1% of the residents of Clearwater are native, meaning they were born there. So a lot of people don't necessarily move there. I believe it's very big for tourism, you know. And at one point we had the best beach in the country. We still do. Shout out Clearwater Beach. It's really nice. But, you know, it's not the most city, like a bustling city, like, you know, a New York or a LA or a Dallas or Miami, where it's just like this melting pot of cultures and so many people and so many industries. That's not really it. The biggest employer is the school board, Pinellas County School Board. They have approximately 16,000 employees, part-time and full-time. After that, we have some, you know, medium to large companies that are there in the city, which would be like Raymond James Financial, Home Shopping Network, Bright House, or not Bright House, I forget what they call it, Spectrum, Fidelity Insurance, Nielsen Media Research, Tech Data. Those are some of the top, you know, companies or bigger companies that are there industry-wise. But even them, you know, they have, you know, the biggest one, which would be the Raymond James Financial, have about 3,000 local employees. The rest of them are way behind, 2,000, 2,800, you know, 1,500 employees. It's not really so much. Anyway, I just said all that just to give y'all a little frame of reference of what we're working with here, okay? Small town vibes, not like no one-stop light type vibes, but small, you know, only a couple of things here and there. So when I was growing up, all I can say that I remember is being like, I don't want to be like nobody around me. Like, I don't want to be like nobody around me. I just remember that. Like, you know, I remember people ask a lot, like we have to write a lot about who is your hero, who do you look up to? And I'm like, none of these people. Like, I never seen anybody that did anything that I wanted to do. Like, nothing I ever saw inspired me. Only things that ever inspired me was when I left. Like, when I would go out of town, then I would be like, oh, wow, I like this. I love that. I want to be like them. But never home. Like, I never crossed paths with anyone who it struck me that, like, wow, they're cool. I want to be like them. That's just what it is. So I always kind of felt like lackluster, you know. I never really felt like, oh, I hate my home, but I never really felt like I'm just so in love with it, I can't see myself living nowhere else, you know. But I didn't quite feel displaced because it was the only home that I ever known. Like, I literally never lived in another city. Like, we moved around the city in my life, but never to another city. So that's what I knew, you know, even though I had been exposed to other things from going out of town. So when I got to like high school, I knew like, all right, I got to do something. Like, I knew I had to do something. Couldn't figure out what it was exactly that I had to do, but I knew it couldn't be there. I knew it was nothing there in that city that I could do that would make me happy. Now, there were people who did things and they were successful, but it was not what I wanted to do. Like, the most successful thing that I remember people doing, I would say, like, my definition of looking at people like from my hometown, like, oh, they're successful, I would probably say like, probably people who were like teachers, educators, community activists, those kind of people. Nobody really like on some entrepreneurial, you know, vibes, no, you know, hustler grinding type vibes. Like, those are people that was like, oh yeah, they doing something. I could not recall like looking up to anybody like my age or, you know, a few years older than me, like, wow, look what they did. Oh, wow, they went off to the NFL, or wow, she started this business. Like, I can never recall that. Now that I'm 27, yeah, people started businesses later on or whatever, but just my personal experience growing up, never can recall that. So I just remember vividly like thinking like I have to leave here, like I have to go because I don't want to be like these people, and these people have never left. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with those people. They're just not what I wanted to be like. They didn't do things that I wanted to do. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew it wasn't what I saw. Like, you know, like somebody say, oh, what you want to eat? And then you're like, oh, I don't really know what I want to eat. But then they go get pizza and you like, I know I don't want pizza, but I don't know what I really want, but I know it's not this. That's how it was. So like if you were into certain industries, maybe like medical industry, customer service, retail, you probably wouldn't have a problem like staying there. But those were never a thing for me. And also like I could never get a job at like all the places everybody seen me working, like McDonald's, Walmart. I don't think I ever really applied. I feel like I applied at McDonald's before, but yeah, like I could never really get a job and in the places, so I'm like, what am I gonna do here? And what's really popular is CNA. Like a lot of people are really into CNA. I can't say if people are into it or more so that it's just easy. I feel like it's a combination of both because it seems relatively easy. You know, you take a class that I feel like you could do about, I think some people be doing it in like a week, a weekend, 2 weeks. I believe it's less than 6 weeks, honestly. I really don't know how long it is, but it's not like, you know, it'll take like years to accomplish. So I know that a lot of people are into it because I think it's just easy. You know, they get like 20, you know, people start out making like $15 to $20 an hour from this course that they took for like $500, and then they paid like a couple hundred for the test, and then, you know, they have it for the rest of their life as long as they can renew the license. So I think it's popular just because of, you know, how relatively easy it is. The job itself may not be easy, but just to get into it, it's relatively easy. Like med tech, that kind of thing is popular. CNA and med tech. A lot of people like my classmates like working in industry or like in retail. The females at least. The guys, not so much. I don't know what the dudes do that I went to high school with, but a lot of the girls, that's what they do. So that was never my thing. Like, I don't want to do nothing medical. Like, oh, you're sick. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad for you. Go lay down. Like, I don't know. I'm not really that, you know, compassionate. Like, it's just not really my thing. So I was like, damn, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. And I just felt like if I didn't leave, that's what I was gonna be, because I can't think of nothing else I could do. Like, I couldn't think of nothing else I could do. Like, I couldn't think of anybody that I could like sit up under them or watch them, shadow them or whatever, and learn something from them, and that they were doing something that I wanted to do. So I felt like if I don't leave this place, like, I'm gonna be like them, and I don't want to be like them. So since I didn't know who I wanted to be like, I'm like, I just got to get out of here and just hope I find somebody that inspired me enough that I want to be like them. And then I ended up going on a college tour with a group I was in called Precious Pearls. Shout out to the new Beta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. They took us on a college tour, and they would always take us on college tours, always take us places. And I went to A&T, and I was like, I gotta go here. Like, I gotta go here. Like, I went there, I was so inspired. I was so inspired when I went there. So I got there, I'm like, I gotta be like these people. Like, I fit in here. Like, this is where, like, I belong. And that's like when it really clicked for me, like, okay, you don't want to be like the people at home, but you don't know who you want to be like. Then I seen some people, I'm like, oh, these are people who I want to be like. But these people not in my hometown. Like, I never seen any people like these people before. So how can I be like them? Go back home, just looking around, observing in my community. Mind you, I'm in high school and I'm thinking all this stuff. I'm like, dang, I still haven't come across nobody. At this time, I'm like 16. I still haven't come across to nobody that like is like these people that I seen I want to be like. So like, the only thing I can think of is to get out of here. So I felt that like there was just a lack of diversity. Like, I didn't see people doing, you know, a lot of different things. I didn't see people in a whole bunch of different industries. I didn't see, you know, people just into everything, like beauty, tech, cars, entrepreneurs, real estate. Like, I just didn't see it. I didn't see it, like, not in my hometown. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't diversity. And for me, I couldn't categorize it as that at that time, but I just knew like everybody seemed to do the same thing. Like, I was like, I want to do something else, but I don't know what. But I needed to see something. That's why visualization is so, and representation is so important, because I just needed to see somebody doing something else to be like, oh, that's what I want to do. Because I didn't see it. So when everything you know is not where you feel comfortable, it's like, damn, well, what do I feel comfortable doing? But you gotta stumble upon something to actually feel comfortable with it. So it was the lack of diversity for me. And then it felt like a cycle. Like, it felt like, at the time when I was in high school, it seemed like we had like a pregnancy boom. It seemed like it was a pregnancy boom, honey. It seemed like everybody and their mama was getting pregnant in high school. Now that I think about it. And then it's like it slowed down a lot. Like, probably like, I graduated in 2012. Probably like by my senior year, it wasn't really that bad. But like, probably like middle school through high school, probably like 2007, 8 through like 2011. It just seemed like so many people got pregnant. And I was like, dang, what? How everybody get pregnant? I don't know. Y'all, swear to God, it was just so many people. Better. I don't know. Now I think about it, it's like, what caused the baby boom? We had a little baby boom. Because a lot of our classmates, they got kids now that's like in elementary school. These kids like 8 years old, 10 years old and stuff. I'm like, dang. I can't believe it. Like, dang, I remember was in high school, you was pregnant, now you got a whole kid. So, that was like a thing. I was like, what the heck? Like y'all, now that I think about it, I never thought it was abnormal. Cause it was so regular. Like, everybody pregnant. So you're not like, oh, you're a weirdo, you're pregnant. No. It was just like everybody pregnant. Like, it just is what it is. You know, you don't like treat them like an outcast or, you know, disown them, but it just was what it was. So I felt like, you know, it was like only a few things you could do. Like, I felt like, even though I knew you could be anything you wanted to be, because I never really saw it, I felt like, okay, well, you gonna work at the mall, you know, shoe store or somewhere in the mall, Walmart, something like that. Or you gonna do CNA, med tech, something like that. Wasn't a lot of people really doing hair, or you're gonna work for like nursing home doing something, or like maybe like some type of customer service. We got a lot of like call center jobs and stuff like that. And I just felt like that was what everybody do. And I was like, ugh, I don't really think I want to do it. I knew I didn't really want to do it, but I really felt like, ugh, I really don't want to do it. Then I didn't feel like motivated. Like, I didn't feel challenged. Like, I felt like all the stuff was just like so easy. I felt like this is just easy. I felt like everybody just doing this because it's easy, not because it's what they passionate. Which I still feel like to this day, but I understand now more survival. You know, people, you got to live. Like, people don't give a fuck about, oh, is this challenging me intellectually when you got to pay bills? No, people, you got to survive. So like now I more so understand that, you know, people just do what they can just to get by. Like, that's just the world we live in. Also, you know, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it was poverty stricken. But the crazy thing is, I didn't know I was poor. Like, I didn't know we was broke. I didn't know that until I started applying to scholarships. And then like when they ask you to fill out your like income thing or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, you know, you qualify for like low income this. And I'm like, low income? Like, we regular, but everybody around me, we live the same. Like, everybody around me lived the same way, you know, or relatively the same. A couple differences, but, you know, we live the same way, wore the same clothes. You know, I never realized, like, oh, we really don't got money. Because when it's your neighbors, your cousins, the people at church, your classmates, when your siblings, everybody lives the same caliber of life, same quality of life, you don't really think about it. Like, you don't think about it like, oh, I'm so different from them. Like, it just never dawned on me. So for that, I don't even know what she's talking about. So because of that, it was kind of like, when I started realizing, I'm like, oh, well, people really actually live better than this. Like, they have money, or, you know, they make more than us. They live a different quality of life. So I was like, I want to go see that. That piqued my interest. I wanted to leave to be able to see that. Then with the poverty stricken, like, once I realized that, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. This is why people do these jobs that are quick or easy to get into, you know, low entry level things, because they just want to make money. Like, you know, who wants to sit here and go to college for 4 years when you're trying to put gas in your car or food on your table? Like, who's trying to do that? Like, it started to make sense. But I knew that it wasn't for me. Like, I knew those things wasn't for me. And the overall feeling that I got was lack of opportunity. That's the overall feeling that I got, lack of opportunity. Like, I felt like it's not a lot of opportunity here. Like, what the fuck can I do and not feel like, you know, like I'm settling. Like, what can I do where I feel authentic to myself? Like, this is really who I am. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. Like, what can I do? And I didn't really feel like there was a lot of opportunities for that. Like, now there's definitely more opportunities than it was 10 years ago. But I just didn't feel there were many for me. Now, some people, you know, there was a lot of opportunities for them, a lot of things for them to do, a lot of different industries, jobs, all that. Me, baby, it wasn't there. And so for those reasons, I felt like I had to leave. Like, I felt like I need to go. I have to go. Like, I really felt compelled. Like, I feel like I got to go. I got to go. And I knew that, like, I'm not going to say I felt bad. I never felt guilt. But I knew I had to go discover something. Kind of like the hero's journey. You know, I had to go out there and just figure something out. And then I could bring it back, you know, hey, y'all, look what I found. But I had to go find it. Didn't quite know what it was, but I had to go find it. And you know, after a while, I met a lot of people going to college. I met a lot of people from various places all over the country. And they related to me. Like, I didn't feel crazy. They were like, no, in my town, like, don't nobody do nothing. Like, they do this or they do that. Like, you know, everywhere is different industries, you know, wherever you're from. You know, but I met people and they could relate. So I didn't feel so crazy. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, so these people know what I'm talking about. Like, these people, they get what I'm saying. And when I met those people, oh my God, it just like everything clicked, like it makes sense. So it's never a down or a negative thing to my hometown, but it's just like, I just felt that I had to leave to just learn more. And I've always felt like still to this day, I feel like it's an incomplete part. Like, I feel like it's like a lock that I have to, you know, I put the key in, I open the lock, but it's time for me to, you know, put some stuff on the lock and then lock it back in, you know, like, you know how you have like a keychain and then you open it up, you know, you spread the little keychain open and then you slide the keys on there and then you got to close it back. Like, I feel like right now I went, got the keychain and slid a couple keys on there, but I need to load it up and close it up. Like, that's kind of like how I feel, like, meaning that I feel that, you know, I can bring opportunities and just ideas and inspiration back. Like, something that I never had. Like, imagine, I don't know if y'all ever felt like this. Like, have y'all ever felt like uninspired? Like, imagine feeling uninspired as a teenager. Like, what can I do here? Like, what do these people want? That's how I felt. And I hate that I felt that way. And I remember going to a Black Lives Matter summit, if you want to say, while I was in college in Seattle. And no, this was not Seattle. This was at University of California, San Francisco. Yeah, the one that's in the Bay Area. And I remember going there and I just remember a guy saying that, like, you know, we leave our hometowns because they don't have the, you know, the opportunities and the resources and the things that we want. And then we go to these other cities, these big cultural, educational, economical meccas, and we soak it all up and become this wonderful person. And we never go back home and wring ourselves out, drop a couple drops on the people, you know, and let those things flourish and grow back home. Even though our homes are what cultivated us, what made us, what helped us realize we needed these resources. We never bring them back home. And that always sat with me. Like, that's something I'll never forget. I'll never forget how he said that. And it's just like, think about a sponge. Like, you're a sponge and you might be in your hometown and, you know, you might have been dry or just sitting, you know, every once in a while you might have got a little moist. And you go to a city, like a big city, you know, Atlanta, Houston, a Charlotte, Milwaukee, Dallas, LA, you know, Seattle, San Francisco. You go to these big cities and you're just submerged in this bucket of water. You soak everything up. You're just full, just oozing out with ideas and education and experiences and resources and, you know, networking and just so many people and things you learn. And then instead of us taking ourselves as this heavy, soaking wet sponge and going back in our home and wringing the sponge out and letting all those things that we've learned, all those resources and, you know, the community we've built and skills we built, instead of squeezing out in our hometown and letting it rain all over our hometown, spreading the water there where we know it's a drought, we take it and we just squeeze it out in the same city that already got a bucket overflowing. So it's like, you know, why not give back? And I don't have nothing against giving back. I can't wait to be in a position to do it more. Right now, I have to be, you know, focused on myself here in Atlanta because I got to get a certain income level before I feel comfortable, taking so much time off from the source of my money to go and, establish these things and collaborate with people. But excuse me, that always sat with me, and I always said, I want to have inspiration. Like, I want people to be inspired that, hey, I seen these people from where I'm from and they did it and I can do it too. And I feel like that I can do it. I can show people that. But I would hate for people to feel like, oh, I gotta leave here. Like, I can't stay here and do this. That's how I felt. I felt like I couldn't do it. And now looking back, I don't think I could have. I wouldn't be the person I am today had I stayed there. I know I wouldn't be, because so many things have just shaped who I am mentally, emotionally. Like, so many things have just shaped who I am and my perspective, and it's so dynamic, and I know so many people. I've cultivated so many things that my hometown was not able to give me. Like, it just really wasn't, and the people there weren't able to give me. It's not saying that the people were refusing, not willing to give me, but they didn't have the capacity to. You understand what I'm saying? It's like if you were with a toddler and you're saying, oh, well, she didn't feed me. Like, did you really expect a 3-year-old to fix you a plate? Like, did you really expect a 3-year-old to get in the kitchen and make you something? You can't really be so mad because you're dealing with people at the capacity that they're at. You can't, really hold people hostage to this idea of perfection that you have for them. And so, for those reasons, I felt like I had to leave my hometown. But I'm at a point now, I've been at this point where I'm like ready to, make it 360. Right now, it's a 180 right now. I'm ready to bring it full circle, come back around, and, just pour into people in any way that I can. It's a lot of people that are from my hometown that are doing a lot of amazing things. Some there in my hometown, some, abroad, in different cities or whatever. Some people went and did their thing in other cities and they done brought it back home. Like, a lot of people. We got social media influencers, beauty gurus, people doing hair, nails, lashes, makeup. People are into real estate, Airbnb, crypto, education, lawn care, barbering, the military. It's just a lot of people doing a lot of things now. But I don't feel like we have the platform to showcase it. And it's so important to have that site, and for the youth, and not just the youth, just our peers alone. Like, seeing people that's my age doing stuff inspires me. Like, that inspires me to see people. So I don't think we have the right platform for us, or I'm saying us, I'm saying people from Clearwater. I don't think we have the right platform to expose ourselves and, be vulnerable with the people of our city and let them see the journey. Like, just letting people see it's possible. You never know what people are inspired by. It could be the fact that you're a mom. It could be the fact that you was a teen parent. It could be the fact that, you a lefty like them. People are inspired by so many things, but just to be able to, we just need a platform to be able to show people, hey, it's possible. You can do this. You can do that. They might not want to do it, but they might just aspire to, have a quality of you, like, being courageous or being, relentless. Like, they might just aspire to be at a certain level like you are. So that's really important. It's really something I want to work on. And like I said, that man from Black Lives Matter, he spoke on that. You go to these cities and you learn this, bring it back home. You gotta bring it full circle. Whether your city poured into you or not, whatever you learn, it's kind of like you have a responsibility to, bring things back home, because your city made you the person that you are, whether it was from an abundance of experience and resources or a lack of experience and resources. Your city or your hometown and the people around you help cultivate you to that person. It could be because of, or it could be in spite of, but your city helped you become that person. So for me, I hate that I had to leave, kind of, but I love the fact that I had to leave, because it just made me so much more dynamic, so much more diverse, so much more intelligent, well-spoken, well-traveled, cultured. Like, leaving just gave me all these things. And so now I'm ready to go get my waterfront mansion, my $1 million property on Clearwater Beach. If you've never been to Clearwater, you need to look it up. That's my city, and yeah, I'm a city girl, period. Before the city girls were city girls, I was already a city girl. Like, we always say, oh, I'm from the city. Yeah, I've been from the city. Before y'all even knew about what the city was, I've been from the city. But yeah, y'all, so that's why I had to leave my hometown, and my hometown always going to hold a big place in my heart. Even now here in Atlanta, most of my friends and people I associate with are from my hometown. But I'm always open and willing to meet new friends and learn, more things. But it's just, the people I surround myself with are mostly just from my hometown. It's a lot of us up here, from Clearwater. It's a lot of us in the Atlanta area. And we all, like, got the same kind of, story of just being kind of uninspired in a lackluster environment and just wanting to be inspired and see and learn so much more. And we understand what it's like to face adversity. We understand what, you know, it's like to come from poverty-stricken neighborhoods, some of us, or, you know, single parent homes, adverse backgrounds overall. Like, we understand that. And, you know, we out here just doing the best we can. Little to no guidance, like just winging it, like doing what you can. Like, you know, we first generation making it. Like, we just out here doing it. So yeah, y'all, that's my story on why I had to leave my hometown. So if y'all had to leave y'all hometown or y'all moved out, let me know. Comment down below, tell me why you left your hometown or what that was like for you. And tell me where you live now and what's your hometown. Like I said, I'm from Clearwater, Florida, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. So if you like this video, give me a like, a thumbs up, a share, subscribe, turn your post notifications, all that for your girl. Okay, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.
Work, 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 work. You see me have you work, 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 work. You see me do me da 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 da.